on YouTube? It's your boy Dio Brando here today with Zuki M1. Everyone said he couldn't do it, but he did it. He finally did it. He got top 8 at today's 1K.
I don't know who this everybody is that you're talking about.
Everybody who see you actually play. But okay, back to the deck. No, I'm playing with you. Nah, he played terrifically today. He got top 8 at the 1K. You know, get in that store credit so we can get more product. Yeah. Today we going to run through his deck. All right.
Yeah, so the exact place that I came in, I got 7th place. Our boy Dio Brando over there on the camera, he got 8th place, playing his Grand Module deck, which he still hasn't given me the deck list for. So I know I know you guys are patiently waiting for the Grand Module deck profile. I know that you guys have hit me up and have asked me about it. Don't worry, I promise you, as soon as he get a chance to, we're gonna record that and get that to you guys right now.
I'm not even going to front. It ain't his fault. I totally fell asleep and then I had stuff to do the next day, so I kind of had to head out right away. But he should have got it while I was awake, so you can blame him a little bit.
Of course, yeah, blame me. Yeah, that's how we do it. All right, so today I played Thunder Dragons.
Here, turn them upside down so the camera can see them better.
So I have played Thunder Dragons today. It was similar to the one that the dude who had got 4th place at YCS right before YCS London. It's the one where you main deck Scythe in the deck. So you main deck Scythe, you should main deck Artifacts. What was his name?
Yeah.
Adrian Torres. Thank you. That was Tim in the background in case you guys were wondering.
I'm sure they recognize his voice if they watched you prior.
Hey. But yeah, so essentially, oh shit, I still got some of my side deck in here. Damn. All right.
Top level plays.
Of course.
7th place, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
Hey, this ain't a duel. All right, so an interesting tech that I like to do with my Thunder Dragons is I only run 2 roars. Now, every deck profile that you'll see with a Thunder Dragon deck tends to run 3 copies of this card. I only run 2. One of the worst things there is when you open up as a Thunder Dragon player is having this card in your hand first turn and you literally can't do shit. Like, this card is so fucking worthless on turn 1, it's actually ridiculous. Like, you draw it, you see it, and you're like, pass turn.
That's crazy, because I definitely was walking around and seeing you with 2 of those in your hands.
And that's the saddest part. That is literally the saddest part. Even at 2, you still see this fucking card. So imagine having it at 3. So yes, this motherfucker, you want to see it, but you don't want to see it to the point where you have it and you'll open the hand. So 2 is the perfect number for this card. Do not. I suggest not running it more than just at 2. Another card that people run at max at is Hawk, right? So a lot of people run this at max. I do not. Again, another situation, like I said before with Roar, is that this don't do nothing in turn 1. You're not going to have anything to grab from your graveyard or your banish on your first turn. So when you draw into your first turn to go for your plays, you're not going to be able to do anything with this card. Unless you had Matrix in hand to go Matrix into Linkaribo, activate Hawk, special summon Matrix, use Matrix to go into Colossus, and then pass turn. That's okay, but like honestly, that's not what you really want to use Hawk for, right? You want to use Hawk for Roar. You want to use Hawk for Dark. So for that type of situation, that's like a brick hand that you're trying to make the best of that hand. So I just run this at 2. It's fucking amazing. You can always recycle it. And when you do draw it, it's actually good because you only got that 1 copy and you can use it how you were supposed to use it. So I run these at 2. That's I think the only variations that I do from most Thunder Dragon decks. Now, of course, you max out on these guys right here. So we run max on these 3 right here. Right? So max darks and then max eggs. Now, I mean, obviously these guys are your best options. These two being your favorite cards to have in your hand. Uh, Not always like dark, obviously, but it's good to have in your hand. Like some people would say, like having dark in your hand sometimes will feel like a brick because you can't really do anything with it. But honestly, dark in your hand actually opens up a lot of plays for you. So dark in your hand, you can go for a Colossus, you can go for a Titan, you can go for a Titan play on your opponent's turn and things of that nature. With Matrix, they can't respond back to this card. So like say for instance, if I have Dark in hand and I activate it and they activate Ash, I can't stop that. Whereas if I activate Matrix and they have nothing and they just have that one monster and they need that monster to go into their play and I pop it with Matrix, there's no response to this unless they have Call by the Ground, right? So this card is insane. You probably always want to just use it from the hand. And then this card is really good in the hand as well.
What I did see you do, because we ended up playing together in the 1K, I think round 3. What I did see you do is when I didn't have some type of floodgate out, you dropped Dark over here on my turn, so you could search out another one. And I'm not sure what the rest of your hand state was, but it seemed like a pretty key play. After you dropped the Dark on your turn, you proceeded to drop discard Hawk, special summon the Dark. That way you could link it off and get the search for like Thunder Dragon Fusion. I can't remember what you searched, but I was like, dang, so he kind of just adjusted his whole hand so he could actually play the game.
Exactly. Like one of the key points that people have to realize with this card is that when you have it in your hand and you're going second, you want to always just resolve it. Don't hesitate about using this effect. Like some people would think, like, why would I want to use that during my opponent's turn? The thing is, when you use this during your turn, you're thinning your deck by one more card, right? So it's like basically using Upstart without having to give your opponent any life points. On top of that, it also acts as setting up for your graveyard, right? So if I top deck the duo, all I need is a light monster to go into a duo, and then I get 2 effects, and I could chain lock it to make sure that I'm getting dark effect, right? And I still have a dark in hand. So if I end on the Titan, I can discard dark to go search the last dark and then use Titan's effect. So that's really good setup. That's really good oppression right there, right? The other 3 ofs that I run is honestly the best normal monster for me personally is Batteryman Solar. This card is just fucking insane. Honestly. I don't really think it's too much I can say on this guy. One of the best plays is that you get to summon him, right? And then when you do, your opponent has to respond to this, right? They literally have to respond to this. So you get that Impermanence out, you get the Ash out, you get literally all these cards that can interrupt any other type of play, and you can just legitimately just shit on your opponent. It's the nuts. Now, an interesting tech choice that I have that a lot of people don't do with the deck, this is outside of the Thunder package, is I want one aloof.
That's like an honorary Thunder monster. I'm surprised by the 1 because I saw you see that quite a bit, but
that's why I run him at 1. So the thing that I did with Aloof, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Aloof is an insane card. If he was a Thunder monster, he would literally be the best card in the deck.
This deck be tier 0.
You wouldn't even run this. He'd just be the best card in the deck. You do whatever the fuck you want. He's just insane, right? The thing is, though, is that I just don't care to use him like that, if that makes sense. Like when I have him, he's nice, but like I almost always pick him. Like when I start off the hand and I see these 2 as starters, right? If I only have like Dark or Roar in hand, obviously I'm going with Aloof. But if I have like an actual Thunder Dragon plays, I'm going Battery Man. Because Battery Man is going to allow me to extend further. So even if I, say, go crazy on my turn and I get Nibiru, I can still do other stuff. Whereas with him, if I get Nibiru, there's no other insurance.
Yeah. And then is the Aloof Lupine at 1 kind of the reason why is part of the reason why is because you're only playing 2/2 and not the full 3 of, like, since you're not playing as big a Thunder, Aloof isn't as important.
Honestly, I just don't want to see him like that crazily, right? Because he just doesn't do anything for me for the most part. Like, he's good, but like, if someone no materials me, I'm stuck with this guy. I can't do anything with him. If someone like, I will say this though. One of the fattest things ever is when you force out someone's like impermanence, you force out someone's effect veiler, and you still have to banish for cost. That's fat. That shit's
That's funny.
That's fat.
You're like, wait, I negated.
I got that in tournament too. Like, I had summoned the Aloof. He was like, what does this card actually do? I banished for cost, and he's like, yeah, I can't stop that. I'm gonna stop you from banishing the other card, but I'm gonna just, I just have to not, let you extend even further.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes you're just forced to have to do that. But I don't know. I just don't see a real purpose of me bumping him up more than just 1. I just prefer him at 1. It plays really well for me.
Yeah.
If I feel the need to have to bump him up more, I could possibly find the space. But honestly, 1 Aloof, I don't feel it like that. Like, it doesn't feel bad. So that's why I run him at 1. Now the supporters, we got the young 3. We got, well, this is all I run for hand traps actually. Is where you at? And to be honest, this is literally all I run for hand traps. Just 6 cards. Phantasmates, and permanents. I don't really think you need anything else. Arturo kind of really of mine. Like, I don't really give a fuck about ashing your shit. I don't really give a fuck about Ghost Ogre. I don't give a fuck about a lot of these cards. So like, and it doesn't hurt like our Apex Predators. So in Thunder Dragon decks, your Apex Predators are like, fuck, why can I not?
Altergeist
And fucking Orcus. Those are your Apex Predators. Orcus being the number 1 Apex Predator. If you see that deck, you have to have your side deck ready to try to trample their shit. Because otherwise they are going to run you down like a fucking 18-wheel truck. So yeah, they don't give a fuck about nothing that we do. You end on Colossus with nothing else but just Colossus. They do full Orcus combo, blow your shit down, OTK that time. It's not even funny. Like, it literally just don't care about anything that you're doing.
Oral Sword.
Yeah, War Sword is a card. War Sword is definitely a card. I almost forgot to mention, I definitely run 2 copies of the duel.
Dude, that card has got to be one of your. I think that card's one of your MVPs of the deck for sure.
Actually, he's the best card in the deck. Best card in the deck, hands down. No questions asked. So this is always probably the card that you're going to search off of Fusion. So this is always going to be the card that you search off of Fusion, and it's always going to be the card that you're going to use the most, no matter what you do, trying to come back in the game. If you see Duo, when you have your graveyard set up with either Dark or Roar and Matrix, you just even if they negate the summon a duel, you don't really give a shit. You banish both your Thunder Dragons, and then you just go.
Once
you proceed to lay the dick down.
Once you got to set up graveyard, that card literally says pick 2. You could search the deck. You could add to your hand.
Exactly.
You could search an A. What? How you want it?
Exactly. How do you want it? How do you need? Like it just it doesn't give zero fucks. It's a disgusting shit. To finish out the rest of the monsters though, we just got Scythe. That is
in the main deck.
Scythe in the main deck.
In the main deck, everybody.
Scythe in the main deck.
I just want you to know that and know how many times I've seen that in testing. Just stop dead salads, Orcust, everything, and they couldn't get around it.
Now here's the coolest part about Scythe too. Mm-hmm. Because he's an artifact monster, you can set him in your spell and trap cards. You'll go to your opponent's turn.
I swear to God, you say you blow him up with Titan, I'm a loser.
Definitely.
Oh my God, Herbert!
Trigger his effect.
Why you do him like
blown
that?
up on your opponent's turn. You can special summon the Scythe. And then you trigger his effect.
Oh my God.
And then he prevents your opponent from going into the action deck. It's actually fucking insane. So they're like, wait, hold up, why are you blowing up your own spell and trap card? And they see the Scythe, and they're like, wait, you main deck Scythe? I do. I do. I don't like.
Oh man,
you guys just doodling on me and I can't play the game. So Scythe is Scythe, man. It's disgusting. Here's another interesting tech in my deck. Tool Lords. Ooh.
All right, are we getting into spells?
Yes.
All right, you wanna just recommend clean up the monsters a little bit. Everyone got that view of it for a while now. Just to clear a little bit of room so you know where we're at. And
so, yeah, like I said, just two allures.
All right. Why not the third? You don't like consistency cards seeing it, or?
You run a lot of light monsters, and this shit can be kind of dead when you have like a handful of lights. With two allures, I never saw that as an issue. Like, honestly, you will never notice. Like, you will never notice. Because, honestly, this is just a play starter. You activate the lure, banish the dark, banish the roar, and then you just proceed to lay dead, right? You got +3 off this card. This is literally +3. That's why most people want to max it out. But when you have Battery Man, Hawk, Matrix, no darks in sight, do you run that risk of activating the lure? Like, why run the risk of discarding your entire hand when you can make sure that when you see this card, it's alive, right? So honestly, I didn't feel bad cutting it down, and I haven't felt it. Honestly, I was playing today, and I was like, damn, I forgot I only run 2 fucking allures.
Bro, I saw you Hail Mary top deck Allure of Darkness into the duo and the dark. Or no, the roar, you're right. The roar. So you get the special summon of dark, oh my God, and you started popping off, and he's like, how, you had 1 card in hand, now you got full board. Don't be expecting that every time, people.
No. Don't Hail Mary unless you know for a fact
he was going to lose the game otherwise, but it was just crazy to see.
Just don't Hail Mary unless you know for a fact you're going to lose the game. So, on to the rest of the spells. We got, this is just my personal flavor.
I thought she was about to throw out 1/1 at me, and I was going to say, you crazy, man.
I played 2 claws, 2 twins. I main decked the twins because I fucking hate back row.
There can be only one, man.
You don't want to get. There can only be one. You don't want to get Mystic Mind. You don't want to see fucking skill drain, fucking mind drain, soul drain, whatever the fuck people want to run. That's just literally preventing you from playing Yu-Gi-Oh. This would be your answer for that. Definitely summon limit. Like, there's just too many cards in Yu-Gi-Oh to try to proactively prevent This helps alleviate that stress. This also helps alleviate that stress. Like I told you guys in previous deck videos, if you see the call with the Hulk and the Battery Man, it's full Thunder combo. But now you don't go to Star User, you go into Appaloosa, so that way you don't get your shit rocked. Unless they just a god and they have rock and fucking impermanence, then
Shout out to your round 4.
I'm gonna tell you guys about that one later. But yeah.
So, real quick, just asking, I'm not sure if they've seen this, if you've done a deck profile before, but I know you did used to run, what was it, Sierras? The ritual monster that when you target, you discard to negate the activation of that target effect, like impermanence.
I didn't get a chance to put that into a deck profile, but I did for my regional invite. I did run Savaris, the ritual monster. That was literally during the time when Sky Strikers was still very much alive.
Okay,
and you had to worry about Widow Anchor, Mind Control, Crackdowns. It was just too many cards that targeted. I got away with bullshit. Like, it was basically protect the castle for my Colossus.
Okay.
So, to protect the castle, I just ran Savaris. And Savaris used to legitimately just have them say...
So, because of the decrease of... Savaris, whenever you target one of your monsters, you could discard to negate the activation of that targeting card.
No, anytime a card is targeted.
Any card. Okay. So, basically, Sky Striker used to be one of your apex because of Widows and Permanences, all that other stuff. And with that kind of receding out the main meta, it's still good in regionals.
It's still good.
But because it's receding in popularity, you said, all right, I'm going to go with Call by the Graves for Ash Blossoms and everything else you could think of, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Right? You just want to have those checks for that. And then again, like I said, you want to have something for the back row and things of that nature. So.
All right.
Then you got the best spell card that you could possibly see in the whole deck.
Without a doubt.
These are the best spell cards you can see in the possible deck.
Bring it back to 3?
Honestly, I don't even know where you would even put this in the deck if it came back to 3. I mean, you would obviously find room, but I don't know where the fuck you would put it in there. But yeah, like this right here. When you see one of these 2 cards, if you see both these cards, oh, you in the game. You in the fucking game. Stop me, sir.
I don't think you in the game because it's about to be over.
Stop me, sir. Like, hello? Like this, okay. One thing that people actually underestimate about Thunder Dragons is that we are grindy as fuck. This is literally your entire grind game.
I can back up this statement. As a true Draco player, I can back this statement up.
This is literally your grind card. Your whole grind game in one card. Recycle all your monsters. Special summon a dude that's going to help you pop shit. And then, hey, he dies. Guess what? Next turn, banish this. Go and continue to try to proceed to lay Dick down. If he still didn't die, activate Roar. Add it back to my hand. Do this shit again. Let's try it again, boys.
Let's try it again.
It's just fucking nuts. The only downfall about this card, no, it's not downfall, is that you can't use both effects in the same turn. That's it.
What? I thought you could use both effects in the same turn, just not
you can't.
multiple times.
The same time. You can use the same effect in the same turn. It's just it can't be sent to the graveyard in the same turn. So, like, say for instance. Let's say, for instance, I have one in grave, and I have one in hand. I use the one from grave to banish to add a thunder monster, and I activate the effect Diffuse.
Yeah.
That's 2 different effects.
Okay.
I never banished this card.
Oh, I see what you're saying now.
You're right.
Because I myself have gotten confused.
It's the name.
As you can see,
it's a soft once per turn.
Oh, okay.
So if it said Thunder Dragon Fusion, like you can only use the effect of Thunder Dragon Fusion once per turn, then you couldn't use both the effects.
I see.
But you can use both the effects because it's a soft once per turn.
That's probably a key play to note for the grind game.
Yeah. Then on to my traps. There's only a few others other than the 3 impermanents, as you guys saw earlier. You got 2 sanctums.
This man stayed with the Batman.
And
all the gadgets.
Ooh. So
wait a minute. Trap trick? What am I seeing here, Herbert?
Okay, so the trap trick is literally the 3rd eradicator, 3rd sanctum, or the 4th impermanence. So you only run 1 copy of this. This card stops Orcus. They can't play after you activate this. This card stops. It stops Altergeist. It stops spell. Any spell-based deck, or literally anything that you're struggling against. And hey, let's say they don't play any type of back row. It's the first card that you can side out.
Oh my god.
First card you can side out, right? So it just makes siding really easy. Especially if they don't play back row. These 4 automatically out. Then you can just easily put in whatever you need into the deck. So this card literally wins you games just because of the fact that it gives you access to these cards, and you're not guaranteed to see it because it's such a small number count that you're running.
So this is the total. This is a 40 card deck.
40 cards. Exactly.
40 cards, but with this trap trick, it's basically 41, 42, 43 card deck.
Yeah, I mean,
but you get to search whatever you want.
You're right, because remember, you still can dual. I mean, you can dark during your opponent's turn. You can activate the trap trick to banish another copy and then activate the copy directly from your deck.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty nuts. So definitely worth running if you're running pure variants. And that is the main deck. Let's go on to the extra deck. Extra deck is real quick, real simple. The only tech card that I have in the extra deck is Gustav Max. Now, some of you guys may be wondering, how do you go into Gustav Max? I'll show you the Gustav Max play. The Gustav Max play is literally only for timing around. So, end of the round procedures. Obviously, you need a burn card. This is your burn card. I'll show you how to go into it right after I finish the rest of the extra deck.
We are going to about 27 minutes now. So maybe a second YouTube video, combos with Zuki.
No, it's real quick.
Okay.
So Brawlhalla Dragon, staple, Phoenix, staple. At this point, he's like one of the best cards that you could possibly go into with this deck.
Really? I thought he was more of a Sky Striker hate card. You're still liking him?
I still love him.
Okay.
He's still amazing. To not be able to be targeted and not be able to be destroyed by card effects, Silas just sit here and look at him and be like, he's just omnipotent, as one of my friends like to say. So he's fucking amazing against Silas. Lambda, one fat boy, or some summoner.
And he just chilling. Why you gotta be like that to him?
The Link Kriebel, Apollo's beat for a generic 2, so these are your generics 2s. This is specific for only Colossus extenders. And then obviously the best cards of your deck. 3 Titans. 3 Colossus.
Ooh, gotta pull out the ulti on him.
Yeah, so the only exceed that you run is this guy, and then everybody else is there. So, to show you guys how to go into Gustav Max real quick.
So, another question about the BLS real quick. Have you ever thought about Abramax or tested with him instead? I know that's another very popular, can't be targeted card.
The thing is that it's easy to go into the BLS because you have 3 monsters on the field. With the Abramax, I have to use 2 extra deck monsters that came directly from the extra deck. Okay. So that's a little bit more difficult to do with this deck.
Alright.
So that's the only reason why you wouldn't want to do that. Because you have a lot of fusions on board, and they're all high level monsters. Whereas with the Abramax, I got to use 2 extra deck monsters. And so I would have to use like Colossus, Titan, and like 2 other monsters just to go to Abramax.
Alright. And then have you thought of does the BLS require 2+ monsters?
He requires 3, I believe.
Oh, I was gonna ask if you've thought about using
3 monsters.
the new IP Masquerena to go onto your opponent's turn with
That
things
would
like
be
that.
nuts, but no, that does not work like that.
I mean, if you got 2 materials, it's like a Link 4, but it could.
At that point, then why wouldn't I just go into Brawlhalla Dragon?
You know what? You're right. I'm just spitballing here, asking about
I would
popular
say this.
meta cards.
This B cop, if you got it, replace this shit with fucking IP Masquerena.
Because the arrows are the same.
Yeah,
And
and
then
they're
you
exactly
put-
the same, and you get to go into either. You can literally go into whatever the fuck you want, because this will prevent you from getting a rock, and then on their turn, you can just proceed to do whatever the fuck you want.
Did you have unicorn or something that also is
You can just change out the extra deck to fit it. So like you can probably take out the Lambda or take out the Phoenix. Because you got enough back row hate if you main deck the twins anyway. Because I never actually go into Phoenix. Like, he's just there just in case I need him.
Maybe the future playtesting and deck list once you top when you switch it up again.
Right. So, just real quick, you just need 2 downward arrows. And your go Colossus, right? That's super easy, right?
This right here could be summon something as easy as going right Battery Man, special summon a dragon, use the token and Battery Man, boom, right into this.
Right.
2 downward arrows.
Right.
Now you're baking.
Now, once you do that, you have to actually. You have to banish 2 thunder monsters from your hand. So once you do that, you go into your first Titan, you go into your second Titan. Then you overlay and go to Gustavo. Now, granted, this is over 5 summons. So if they got the Nibiru, then they win. Then they draw with you. But if they don't have Nibiru, then you win the game.
I mean, this is a going into time thing, so it's game anyway, so you might as well go for it, right?
Exactly.
All right. I think, let's see, we got the side deck left.
Yes, and that is it's pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, with the way that you play Thunder Dragons, it's completely up to you. This deck allows you to freestyle a lot. I personally just play for cards that I absolutely hate. So, like, I have the 3 Dankos.
Ooh.
Like, I absolutely hate back rows. So I want to make sure that they can't prevent me from playing. Again, just beating on the dead horse here.
Woo.
Right? Just
So you confident in your ability to break any monster board? It all comes down to the back row goofy stuff, right?
I mean, for monster decks, you got,
Oh, never mind. He about to pull out the rock, right? What am I talking about?
Rocky Boy, Rocky Balboa. Then this is for your Orcus matchup. I don't know if I want to continue to use this over the over Chaos Huntress. If you can get her, I would definitely recommend that. So Chaos Hunter, if you can't get your hands on Chaos Hunter, then I would probably run this over what's it called? Because you can't negate this with like Call by the Grave, which everybody runs, right? Everybody runs Call by the Grave, but you can't negate this with Call by the Grave.
You can negate that with Call by the Grave? It's not a monster. Why? Like,
you can negate Artifact Sanctum with Call by the Grave because
I thought she was talking about System Down.
No.
What's this man smoking?
No. This right here can only be stopped by Crescendo if they have it. So you bait out the Crescendo, then you System Down. And even if they chain with the effects, it doesn't fucking matter because everything is getting banished from the graveyard in the field.
So you trying out Chaos? You think about trying Chaos Hunter to be more proactive instead of reactive?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. I you aggressive player. I could see that.
Yeah. So the interesting tech that one of our team members, Tim, put me on, which is the Exchange. This card literally won me my regional invite.
Wait a minute. There are a bunch of people who don't know what that is. Explain that card real quick.
Okay, so Exchange literally does this. I show my hand, you show your hand, I give you a card, you give me a card. Why would we use this, right? You summon 3 monsters, summon 4 monsters or whatever. You got like 1 card in hand. You got 2 cards in hand. Then you activate this, right? I show my hand. It's a Thunder Dragon. You show your hand, and then it's Nibiru, fucking, or I don't fucking know, anything that can literally just prevent me from playing the game next turn. It doesn't matter. It's intel on your hand, right?
Yeah, you gain game knowledge, and you could prevent them from messing you up with the one card that could save them.
Exactly.
You can grab out Super Polys, you can grab out Nibiru.
Right, so for instance, I dueled against a friend of mine. He had a Super Poly in hand. That was the only way for him to crack my board. I gave him my Thunder Dragon. He gave me his Super Poly. And then...
he didn't really give. You took that with a Thor attack.
Essentially, this card just prevents your opponent from using cards against you that you just can't out. Right, so it's just a really good card to use if you want to have that intel on your opponent's hand and things of that nature.
All right, and while you sweeping it up real quick for that Denko, for what a lot of people, for you to know, that is a Thunder monster right there, searchable off the Banish of Fusion.
It is. So you can search it off
Hit me with that so many times, Herbert.
You can search it off of Fusion. You can use it to go into Colossus. And you can bump it up with Matrix, so it can become 2200. So
that gets over all the monsters that might be able to beat over it with a normal summon.
That includes like Inspector Border or anything like that. So
that beats That beats well, I don't know if you activated anything with Inspect Border, but like Harport is 17.
Like if you were in a situation where you had the Denko before they had the Inspector Border.
Yeah. But like things like if you're going up against Orc, well, I don't know if you necessarily side that against Orcas, but any monster
you probably wouldn't want to side this against Orcas. You would only want to side this against like Ultigeist or fucking Guru.
You know, all the Batman cards that they might have to get over that.
But yeah, that's pretty much the deck list, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I hope this was really helpful for anybody who's trying to get with the Thunder Dragon deck. Again, I was fortunate enough to get 7th place today. So if you guys did enjoy the video, just make sure to hit me with the like button. And if you really enjoyed the video, make sure you hit me with the subscribe button. But as you guys already know, this has been Zuki1. I hope you guys have a great morning, great evening, great afternoon, and great night. But I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.